Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3. And today I'm going to be giving you part 3 of What If Naruto was the forces of nature. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, remember to stick around for the rest of what is coming your way over Anime King 2 and Anime King. If you're new, yes, you heard that correctly. I indeed have 3 channel guys, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Links will be down in the description, so go ahead, check them out and yeah, enjoy. And don't forget to turn on that bell notification and see exactly when I post. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we leap right into this new episode? Begin the intro. So the last spot we left off, a bandit camp was being attacked by a young child. He was around 14 years old, his body clad in darkness, as he was wearing a black cloak. The leader of the camp came out when he heard his man being slaughtered outside. He didn't know who this punk was, but he chose the wrong time to come here. However, before he could finish, someone landed on his shoulder. As he started to speak to the child, the leader was rather pissed off. The person just sat on his shoulder, however, the person gave him a kick that numbed his senses, as they proceed to end the life of the terrible bandits. The one that came before seemed to still have a problem with ending their life, however, the other one seemed to take it more well. We then had a time skip. Some years has passed. Sasuke and Naruto has become better friends. Close like brothers, if one would say. The fact was, the both of them had surpassed all expectations. The Council of the Civilians wanted Hiruzen to do something regarding Naruto about his training. They wanted Hiruzen to stop him, the reason being Naruto was getting too strong. And they feared the process of him getting too strong would allow the fox to get too strong. However, Hiruzen seemed to just told basically them to go to hell. He didn't say the words, however, he disregarded their complaints. But Itachi, when he was at the age that Sasuke is at right now, he was a talented shinobi. And Sasuke is not far behind. He already had his 3-totem Sharingan activated in both eyes. And he was not far behind the strength that his brother possessed at this age. Now that was where the problem lied. Hiruzen could not justify placing any of them with any of the other academy students, because he would outclass them by a long margin. So he had to find a different substitute for their team, because he was thinking about placing the both of them on one team to balance things out as a strong unit that would bring great hopes for Konoha in the future. Having them separated and placed on other teams, they would just outclass the others in too much areas. So he was thinking of placing the both of them on one elite team. However, who should be the third member? But that was when a problem happened, as Naruto came across Ayam being mistreated by a guy. The guy introduced himself as Jiro. As Naruto noticed the bruise on her arm, she told him to drop it. However, Naruto reported to the Hokage, who went to speak with Jiro about this as he knew the child. He was a late teen. His father was one of the rich folks in the village regarding the shopping areas. However, next time that Naruto came by, Ayam wasn't there. When he went to visit her at her house, where Toki told him to give her soup, he noticed the bruises. Naruto was pissed off. The Hokage called them all in, as Ayam made up a lie saying that she fell out of a tree. It was then that she finally broke down and told Naruto everything. At first when she met Jiro, He was nice and kind, however. She never knew who he was or who his father was. But as time went by, he refused to give her space or let her do anything that he didn't wanted. He was gonna buy all of the shopping district where the ramen shack was located and shut it down. Her father loved to cook after her mother died. Her father took on cooking to a different level, and it was his passion, his dream. So she didn't want him to lose that. So she was willing to put up with everything. However, Drew was pushing things a bit too far. As Naruto was completely silent, he proceeded to get evicted from his apartment because Drew decided to buy out the landlord, telling her that he would actually put the place up for, well, sale completely, running the woman out of business if she did not kick out Naruto. Unlike many others, this woman was sweet on the child because she saw him as that, yes, a child. As Naruto went to speak to Sasuke, Sasuke allowed him to stay there without questioning. In fact, he preferred Naruto to stay here. The place was large and lonely at times. He didn't have anyone here. However, Naruto told him to do him a favor, but he will not tell Sasuke what he was going to do, as Sasuke obliged. Sasuke's family had several housing around the land of fire, which Drew wanted his family to get his hands on, so he never told anyone that he was speaking to the Uchiha. He was doing it as a surprise to his father. However, Naruto grabbed him and flew him out of the village. Pure wind manipulation showing to a different extent. Naruto has grown a lot in the past couple of years. That is when he proceeded to drop Drew. The man kept on spouting his nonsense as Naruto showed him why he was not someone to be messed with. He literally split the heavens with lightning and brought it down and decimated the area. The only thing that stood there when he was done was his body. Joe was completely gone. However, Naruto was loose knit, letting his emotion run rampant. However, the ground split open as vines came out and grabbed around him, as they seemed to have a mind of their own as they stopped him from doing anything stupid, as he proceeded to calm down. The next day, Naruto was called in, as the man's father, Joe's father, came there, as Joe had bought a transaction for the complex that Naruto lived in, and once Naruto had been put out of the apartment, he had stopped the transaction, so you want to know, what did him and his son have? As the man kept on speaking, his tone really pissed Naruto off, as Naruto told him that he couldn't do him anything. First of all, he had nothing to do with his son, and secondly, his money cannot do shit when it comes to him because he was a 9-tailed Jinchuriki, and he was very beneficial to this village. Hiruzen and Danzo and the two other elders were shocked to hear Naruto say that, after which Hiruzen called Naruto to his office, as he asked him when did he know. As Naruto has done a lot of study with Sasuke and the Uchihas, they knew about the Bijus, and Naruto had found out some time ago. As Hiruzen did not speak that much about the topic of Jiro, he had also saw what that boy had did to Ayam. However, he really hoped that Naruto didn't do anything to the child, because this would be a great offense if he was him. Danzo came to speak to him afterwards, as he had someone for the team, consisting of Naruto and Sasuke. Afterwards, Naruto went to eat Kurama stand. Ayam could only hug him as she cried, as she asked him if he wasn't in trouble. She knew, despite not saying it, as she hugged him and cried. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across the play, check out for yourself. So to begin this new episode, Naruto sat on the head of the fourth Hokage. His legs were folded, his blonde hair bristled in the wind. As he closed his eyes, it didn't take him too long, as he searched and felt for the connection. The Uchihas had a vast library on the tail beasts. They have done extensive research. It also turns out that a powerful enough Uchiha was able to control the 9 tails a long time ago. The man was known as Madara Uchiha, the one to set to fight the first Hokage on equal footing. And given how powerful the first Hokage was, that was an incredible feat. As Naruto had found out about him being the container of the 9 tails some time ago, there was just too many evidence there for him not to link it up. And spending enough time at the Uchiha compound, he was able to get that. As Naruto closed his eyes, as he tried to remember the feeling that he felt when he was about to end Joe's life, that rage, that powerful chakra swirling inside of him. And he felt it, a tug, as Naruto gripped it and yanked. Naruto's eyes slowly opened up. What he opened up to was a view that stunned him to his very core. He was in some kind of different world. The place was gigantic. He could see mountains in the far, far distance. It was a luscious forest. He saw animals, deers, bears, squirrels, different rodents all around. All of them looked at him. They seemed to be at utter peace. As Naruto glanced around, the field that he walked in, it felt like a literal rejuvenation of nature itself. Everything around him was at complete harmony and peace. This felt like some kind of representation of his body, or perhaps his mind. Despite being the Nine-Tails holder, Naruto knew that he was something else as well, because he could do things that no normal human can do. The Hokage had made sure to tell him that when he had asked about his strange abilities, if he has ever seen them before. However, Naruto was just different. So he guessed that his representation of his mind would reflect that. Animals seemed to love him. It doesn't matter what kind of animals they were. That led him to have a friendly relationship with Hana Inazaka, as she was a town vet, and she always took care of the animals that he brought to her. He knew her brother well, so it wasn't really a problem. As Naruto made his way through the cavern, the place was just completely amazing. That is when he heard a thunderous snore. Whatever animal this was, it was not normal, as he noticed the other animals not going over there. As Naruto calmly made his way, the closer he got, the more the animals seemed to try like they wanted to stop him, as he got in his path. As Naruto reached down as he picked up one of the bunnies, as it crawled up to his shoulder, it nuzzled up against his neck, but the closer he got, it bit his shirt, like it was trying to tell him to stop. But Naruto would not stop as the thing hopped off. It was then that he saw it. The thing was massive. It made him look like a small ant. Its eyes were closed. It was under the shade of a large tree. The tree was special, though, as Naruto noticed there was a sealing tag on it, with a kanji for seal there. But he also noticed a choker on the fox's neck, with a kanji for seal on it as well, glowing red. As Naruto stepped forward, the fox released breath from his nose that blew Naruto hair back. The other animals did not come this path. Maybe they were just afraid. He stood there just looking over the fox. It was amazing to know that something like this was actually inside of him. However, this representation of his mind was even larger than Konoha. The fox slowly cracked open a red, slitted eye as Naruto bent his knees before he jumped and landed right on top of the fox's head. The fox's eye glanced up towards him as Naruto placed a hand on top of the fox's head and started to brush it. The thing growled. However, the growl subsided as it closed its eyes. "I presume that you can talk," said Naruto. "Yes, I can talk," the fox said. "From what I've heard, you're supposed to be a demonic, dangerous beast that is known to cause a wild-scale destruction and chaos. But from what I'm seeing here, you don't look that way." "Do you fear me?" the fox asked. "No," said Naruto. "Would it make a difference if I tried to scare you?" "No," said Naruto. "You have been my third container. The other two, they understood what my power meant. They fear my power, but you, unlike you, they were normal." "You say I'm not normal," said Naruto. "My influence has barely any sway over you, unless you let it. And even if you do, you can purge it in a second. So far I've been in 2 other hosts. Like I said, you being my third. And I've come to understand the human body. And I can say for a certain you are not entirely human." Naruto tilted his head. "Is that so?" "Don't play fool with me, child. You know it yourself, you are always different. Unlike my other containers, I can feel what you feel. And I prefer that than being chained up in a cramped, dark cell or being stuck on a pole. And because of that damn seal over there, it's not as easy to break out as I thought. So I've resigned myself to this fate for now. Besides, it's a lot better than my 2 previous homes. So that is why you're so calm. No, that's because of you. I am a being made literally from chakra. However, as I said, you're not entirely human. Your body, it has changed. Change means very different ways. It has interacted strangely with my chakra. The resentment I usually feel towards my containers, I don't really feel it towards you. The appetite to try and threaten you, to try and bite you to pieces, it's not that much there. And besides, I'm not the thing that you should be worried about. The thing you should be worried about is yourself. From that little incident, the previous night, you can feel it too, can't you? The power that you hold, the power that you have yet to unlock. As I said before, you are not entirely human. So do you know what I am, said Naruto. No, the fox said, I don't. And how will I find that answer? That is something I cannot help you with. That is something you'll have to do on your own. I fear that is what you would say, said Naruto as he leaned back. Do you have a name? Or should I be the one to name you? Of course I have a name. No, I'm not talking about Kyuubi. I understand if that would be your name. However, I see that as some sort of title. Well, that's not my name. Then what is? The fox sighed as he simply relaxed. My name is Kurama, he said. Kurama, huh? Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Kurama. I'm glad that we started out properly. The fox said nothing until Naruto glanced up. Seems I have a guess. Well, I guess we'll talk some other time, Kurama. As Naruto faded away, Kurama sat there laying on his paw. All that he just said was the truth. Ever since being sealed inside his body, the resentment he would usually feel towards his host is not there. Not to mention the conditions of this place. It feels just like the outside world. He couldn't tell difference at all. And he'd rather be like this than being stuck up to a pole or being locked away with dozens of chains binding his limbs. However, he still didn't know what the hell this human's body did to his chakra or to him. It seemed to override most of his negativity. However, that didn't mean that he was weak or something, or that he was less ferocious. But he was just less ferocious towards this thing. He was human, yes, that was certain, but he was not entirely. Something happened to him on his birth. Kurama didn't know what it was though, but the child was not normal at all. As he closed his eyes and went back to sleep. Meanwhile, on the outside, Naruto's eyes slowly opened as a man stood beside him. It was the same man from the chambers, with bandages covering him. Naruto said nothing, as he waited for the man to speak. You know, you are right. Power does mean everything, he said. As he looked down towards Naruto, Naruto did not look back at him or say a single word. In the world that we live in, without power, you are literally nothing. Thus, with all their money, with all their talk, he was still not able to survive you. Naruto still did not reply or said anything regarding what the man said. Jiro Mazuratu and his father are rather ignorant and arrogant, believing that just because of their wealth, that they can match up to us shinobis. That is the biggest mistake they ever made. And it seems like Jiro's mistake came back to haunt him rather well. However, the man said, it turns out that the child was indeed kidnapped. Eyewitnesses came forward, saying that they saw the child being taken away outside the land of fire. His father is trying to make preparations to get him back. However, I doubt that he will ever get him back. It is quite the misfortune after all. And yet there he was blaming all of that on you, when in actuality you had nothing to do with it, said Danzo. But it is for the best. We can't have someone like him watching one of our ninjas back constantly. Money means a lot in this world. However, actual power trumps money anytime. After all, what good is your money if you cannot defend it? Wouldn't you agree, boy? Danzo asks. It was then that Naruto finally got up, as he looked at the man. Yes, you're perfectly right, he said. After all, that is the main reason why the Fire Daimyo send us missions, and why we protect the Land of Fire for his sake. That is the main reason why those daimyos have that title in the first place, because of their money. But when it comes to actual power, like you said, they can't actually defend themselves against real, overwhelming power. That is correct, said Danzo. However, even with such power, to have a village like the Hidden Leaf backing you, that is always a great thing. After all, with such power, word spread rather quickly regarding the individual that has such power, and the ninja nation will deem him as a threat, and they will try to eliminate him. But with the backing of an entire village, they won't dare try to lay a finger on him, said Danzo as he looked out to the horizon. You know, old man, said Naruto, you have a lot of evil in your heart. You're the kind of person that will do whatever it takes to make sure Konoha comes out on top. I barely know you and I can tell that already. However, people like you are necessary in this world. Being too good and naive will only lead to the downfall of our civilization. A smile graced the old man's face. I am glad that you understand the true meaning of how this world is set. I am looking forward to what you grew as a fine shinobi of the Hidden Leaf, Naruto Uzumaki, said Danzo, as Naruto started to walk off. He then paused. Thank you, he said. As I said before, said Danzo, power is what runs this world. But even with such power, respect is still due. After all, one cannot do all, said Danzo, as Naruto simply walked away. As he walked down the steps going down the monument, that man was much more crafty and darker than Hiruzen by a lot. He could literally feel it while standing close to the man. It seems he managed to handle the situation regarding Jiro and his disappearance. For that, Naruto was grateful after all. He didn't want anyone hassling Ayam, because the both of them were together. But to hear that he was kidnapped away from the village, that didn't have to do anything with him and Ayam. Speaking of Ayam, he was hungry. Time skip. As Naruto and Sasuke stepped into the academy, the first thing Naruto noticed was a girl who he has never seen before. She had black hair that reached right at the top of her shoulders. She had dark eyes. There was a sword, a tanto, strapped on her back. Her clothing consists of a black t-shirt. However, it was cut at the stomach, showing off her pale stomach. She was wearing black pants and soft sandals. Her clothing was light for flexibility and movement. She also had a pouch at her side that seemed rather larger than most. She was smiling at him the moment he stepped in the class. Her smile seemed fake. However, at the same time, it was directed towards him, not Sasuke him. He's never seen her before, but she seemed to be around his age. Yeah, she seemed to be around 14 as well. Sasuke made his way up along with Naruto as he noticed said girl, but neither of them said anything about the topic as they took their seat. As Naruto turned his gaze towards the window, Sasuke taking a seat beside him. There was one space left. Throughout the years, Naruto has gained more friends. However, their relationship differs between the different friends. Sasuke wasn't really his friend. Sasuke was more like his brother. Shikamaru was his friend, in terms of them just sitting back and watching the clouds together. Kiba, their friendship more consists of a dominating type. as Kiba continues to try to prove that he was stronger. However, despite what he did, Naruto was untouchable to most of them. The only person that managed to land blows on him was Sasuke, and even then, they weren't really serious because neither boys fought all out at the academy, as they didn't want to risk injuring the other students that badly. However, their true skills were shown when they were put for physical tests in front of the Hokage himself and Aruka. The surprise of Sasuke's eyes being activated with 3 totem inside of them. It made the Hokage see how much Sasuke has improved, and the evaluation of his skills showed that he was not even supposed to be in the academy. However, because of what happened all those years ago, especially with the bloodline that he run into, that being Sasuke, no one was supposed to graduate early. So they had to stay for the full years even though they were beyond the academy, far beyond it. As Naruto's gaze turned towards a girl, she kept herself secluded and didn't really pay attention to anyone else. Most would not even notice her. She was quiet. Unlike the others, Naruto watches the 2 girls barged in. They fussed over who to sit beside Sasuke, and Sakura won. Those 2 tried their best to be nice to him. Reason being, they knew that Naruto and Sasuke were good friends, so they tried to get into his good graces for him to put in a good word for them. However, Naruto barely paid them any mind. There were several others though, like Shino and Choji. All of them were cool and good in Naruto's book. There was also Hinata. He did not believe that she was supposed to be a ninja. She was too shy for this ninja world. He didn't believe that she would hurt the hair on an animal at all, as he worried about her progress in the ninja world, knowing how rough and gruesome the place could be because of his and Sasuke nightly skirmishes. To train their instincts and make sure that you're ready for anything the world has to throw at them. "Alright everyone," Aruka said, stepping in. Settle down, settle down. Today they were gonna know their senseis. They took their tests a week ago, and they had to wait. It seems like something had happened because they were given extra time to just, well, not really do anything. Thus the time was spent training and just really, well, not doing anything else. No one seemed to notice the girl in the room, but Naruto did notice that she was wearing a headband. It was tied around her waist, just like his. As Naruto headband tied around his waist, a few sat beside her, but they did not even seem to notice that she was new. "Alright everyone, I am proud of you all for making it this far," Aruka said, with a proud smile on his face. "From today on, I can call you fellow Leaf Shinobis. But I know that you're all eager to hear what team you're gonna be on. So, let us not waste any time, shall we?" So, as he jumped right into it, upon reaching Team 6, Sakura banged her head on the table when she heard her name with 2 random nobodies. Ino had a big triumphant smile on her face. So Sakura was out of the running, so she could get Sasuke on her team. Her smile was beaming happy. It was then that Ino noticed, wait, who the hell was that? Team 7 will be consist of Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha. All the girls that haven't heard their name yet held their breath rather tightly, waiting. And Saya. What the hell? Everyone froze. As Ino looked around, Aruka Sensei, who's Saya? Oh, there she is, Aruka said, as he pointed at the newcomer. But who is she? I've never seen her before. Yeah, now that you mention it, neither have I, as people started to question who she was. Calm down, she was placed here by the Hokage. Remember, I was not the one who created this team selection, so if you have a problem, I suggest that you go and take it up with the Hokage himself. That shut all of them up. They would go and question the Hokage, after all. But still, that didn't mean they couldn't be pissed. Your Jonin Sensei will be Kakashi Hatake. As Naruto raised the eyebrow at that, but he said nothing. Team 8 will be consist of Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inazaka, and Shino Aberami. Your Jonin Sensei will be Kurama Iwai. Team 9 is still in circulation. Team 10 will be Ino Yamanaka, Choji Akimichi, and Shikamaru Nara. Ino banged her head on the table as she cursed, as Sakura stuck her tongue out at her. It was then that Naruto noticed something outside as he snapped his head towards it, rather quickly, but it was gone. Hey, what is it? Sasuke asked. Something caught my vision, but it's already gone. What was it? Sasuke said. I'm not sure. Meanwhile, in an unknown location, something came to a stop. Whatever it wasn't human. As it started to slowly make its way, it arrived at a rather large cavern. The ceiling was non-existent, because the creature that was inside was too large to be bound by mere ceilings. Whatever it was though, it was gigantic. The smaller creature that just arrived, it came to a stop. Father. A booming voice called out. So you have returned, my son. Have you found him? Yes, father. And he's just as you said. The closer I got, the more I felt it. You are right, father, he is indeed a special one. My eyes show me that much. He is the one that you had vision about. Blonde hair with a strand of white in it. And those shocking blue eyes. Should I make contact, father? No, not yet. I will tell you when the time is right. For now, just merely observe and do not intervene. Alright, father, I'll be on my way. The creature took off. The one that was resting simply chuckled. Naruto Uzumaki, he said. Yes, you are special indeed. Meanwhile, at Mount Miyaboku, the great toad sage opened its eyes, as he had a strange look on his face. As the smaller toad to his left looked over. Is something wrong? He asked, seeing the great toad sage awake this time. No, everything is fine for now, it seems. As he went back to sleep. Meanwhile, back at the academy, it has been an hour and a half. And so far, everyone has left, leaving Team 7 alone in the class. The last team had just left, and now they were the only ones there. Naruto's eye was focused on the girl that Aruka called Saya. As she hadn't spoken a single word, he got out of his seat, as Sasuke turned to the side so he could pass. As Naruto moved down the row, he sat down beside her. Hello, he said. It was then that she turned towards him. That smile on her face once again. That strange smile that looked almost fake. It seems like it was though. Oh, hello there, she said. You must be Naruto Uzumaki. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. You know me. Of course I do, she said. While you are not liked by the civilian populace, your name is high in the shinobi populace. After all, you're one of the inspiring, incoming genins. It's been a long time since some has been shown to be strong like you. You and Sasuke Uchiha. You know me as well, said Sasuke. Of course I do, she said. I know the both of you. You must be strong, said Naruto. She raised an eyebrow. Why would you say that, she asked. I'm just curious, she said to him. Well, I'm not blind, said Naruto. Especially from what you just said. In terms of overall strength, speed, agility, and all of the shinobi arts, we eclipse every other student here in the academy by a far margin. So I doubt they will give us anyone to hold us back. So you must be able to handle yourself. Well, I can, she said, if that is what you're asking. As Naruto looked towards the sword on her back. So where were you the entire time, Sasuke said. I've never seen you in the academy before. Oh, I was specially trained, so I wasn't able to attend the academy. But between me and you guys, it would be a waste after all. I doubt that you two got strong from attending the academy. I guess you're right there, said Naruto. So who specially taught you? My father, she said. Your father, huh? Do we know him? I doubt it, she said. Well, said Naruto as he got to his feet. It seems like our sensei is gonna be late. The famous Kakashi Hatake, she said. Known as the copy ninja. Because of his Sharingan. Wait, what? Said Sasuke as he looked towards her. What did you say? Oh, you don't know. Well, Kakashi Hatake had a Uchiha as a best friend in the times of war. The Third Great Shinobi War, I believe. However, he lost that friend and his eye in the process. But before his friend died, he gave him his eye to live out his name. It seems like your clan took pity on Kakashi and allowed him to keep said eye. So now he has it, and he's well known for it. His name can be heard all over the Elemental Nation. He is the son of the White Fang as well. The White Fang. I saw that name in a book before, and I know of this Kakashi as well. But it seems I didn't do enough research, said Naruto, because I didn't know about the Sharingan. What master does he has over it, Sasuke said. I'm not sure, but seeing that he always keeps it covered up, it doesn't seem like he can control it that much. Or if he does, it probably drained too much of his chakra to use it. After all, she got to her feet and moved in. Sasuke was taken aback to how close she got to him. He doesn't have what you have. And what would that be, Sasuke said. She raised a hand as she brought it to his chin. Sasuke felt weird. She didn't feel like the other fangirls, who just want to get close to him. There was something about her in her eyes. They were just so focused. The way she looked at him, something just seems off. Your body, she whispered in his ear. My body, said Sasuke. Yes, as she pulled back. Your Uchiha body. It is quite durable, unable to handle the stress of your extravagant eyes. Thank you, said Sasuke. Yes, it was meant as a compliment, she said. However, you're not the only one, she said. As she turned her gaze towards Naruto, who was looking towards the window as she simply smiled. Her team would be a special one indeed, she thought to herself. Her father was indeed right. Time skip. Kakashi slid open the door as he stepped in towards his team. Once he stepped in, though, he saw a rather strange scene. There was a drawing on the wall that looked rather similar to him, and each of them were throwing kunais at it. As he noticed the parts where the kunais were embedded, which weren't good parts. I've seen my students' first impression of me is not a good one, he said. It was then that Naruto turned, with a kunai in hand as he threw it. Kakashi did not move as the kunai embedded in the wall. As he looked towards the kunai. Oh, I apologize. I guess I got mixed up. Well, it wouldn't be good if you can't tell the difference between a normal human and a drawing. That would mean you have some poor eyesight. Kakashi ripped the kunai out of the wall, surprised when he saw the indentation to the amount of force that he threw it with. Meet me on the roof, he said, as he vanished. Kakashi arrived as he watched all of them flicker up there in the sunshine. The standard leaf sunshine. They were fast. As he sat on the railing, as he observed each and every one of them. This team was not a normal one. And he was already told that already. Alright, so let's start with a bit of introduction first, shall we? Your likes, your dislikes, your hobbies, your dreams for the future. As he looked towards Sasuke, how about you, he said. You go first. My name is Sasuke Uchiha, he said. I only like a few things in this world. I dislike many things. Aren't you gonna tell us what those are, Kakashi? A ninja must never reveal too much about themselves, otherwise it will leave them quite compromised, Sasuke said. Smart words. Continue, said Kakashi. As for dreams and goals, I only have one dream, and that is to restore honor to my clan. The honor that has lost over the years of being stripped down to nothingness. And to also eliminate a certain someone as well. Morbid, said Kakashi. How about you go next, Blondie, he said. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. And unlike Sasuke, I'm gonna tell you exactly why. I will not tell you much about myself yet. Oh, and why is that? Well, you have not proved yourself. Wait, you expect me to prove myself to you? Said Kakashi. For one, you show up late. The other Jonin senseis got here early and took their students away. And you have not given a proper reason why you're late. And besides, I'm sure that you have enough information in our folders that were given to you. You probably already know a lot about us already, and yet, there is barely enough information I know about you. And I don't really like that to know less about my comrades than they know about me. Isn't that a bit too much, said Kakashi? I mean, as you said, we are comrades. A comrade can be an enemy the next day, said Naruto. A calculating gaze Kakashi gave them. These two boys were not trained normally. From what the Hokage told me, mostly self-taught themselves, however. They've done it so well. However, that was not the only thing that they were taught. As a few of the Jonin senseis that was able to get along with the both of them helped them. One of them being Uncle Midarashi, so Kakashi could understand the attitude, knowing who Uncle was. So let me guess, you're not gonna tell me anything either. Unless I prove myself, he asks. Well, likes and dislikes are not really efficient upon being a Jonin sensei to know. However, about dreams and goals, I guess I'll have to find one along the way of being a ninja. So you don't have one, said Kakashi. Well, I've been on this earth for 14 years now. That is too small amount of time to figure out something that life-changing, said Naruto. I suppose you're right. How about you? As he looked towards the girl. My name is Saya, she said. It seems like she did not, or she would not, tell him her last name. As for my likes, well, I mostly like painting. And also training as well. Dislike, I don't really know. I have not found anything that I've disliked to the point that I would say I hate it. The dreams and goals part, I guess I just want to keep Konoha safe and be a good Konoha shinobi. Well, pretty standard, said Kakashi. She tilted her head. You wanted a cryptic answer like what those two gave you. Or perhaps I should say that you should prove yourself to me as well. Kakashi's eyes smiled. Well, I guess you're right. I think I can change you two opinions by tomorrow, he said. How soon, Naruto asked. Well, what you did in the academy was just a standard test to see if you're ready to become Genins. But I am the one that will decide if you will be shinobis. Figure that much, said Sasuke. You did, said Kakashi. Well, the only thing that we had to do to pass was the transformation jutsu and the clone jutsu and a written test. How would those things really help you out on a real battlefield? The clone jutsu is just irrelevant illusions unless you're using the shadow clone jutsu. The transformation jutsu are good. It can be a problem if you don't have a lot of chakra control, and the test was mostly about history. Now tell me, how exactly will that help you on the battlefield? Seems you're smarter than I thought, said Kakashi. Well, seeing that you already know that, meet me tomorrow at training ground 7 at 7 AM. That will be your first test to find the training field. Are you sure that you will be there at 7, said Naruto. I hope so, said Kakashi. After all, you want me to prove myself, don't you? His tone was cryptic the way he said that. Slightly amused and slightly serious. Oh, and I would suggest that you don't eat anything after all. I wouldn't want you to throw up. And with that he was gone. Well, that was a whole lot of nothing, said Saya. You're telling me, said Naruto. However, make sure that you eat. As she turned towards him. But as she paused. I suggest, she said to Naruto and Sasuke. Exactly, said Sasuke. He suggests that we don't eat anything. And what kind of ninja go into a battlefield with any hindrance on their body are sense of mind? You two are really smart and working together. I hope I can be a part of that fold someday. With being a part of Team 7, she said, with that smile once again. I'll see you boys tomorrow, as she is sunshine away. Once she was gone, the both of them stood there. You felt it, didn't you? Said Sasuke. Yeah. She knows a lot for a genin. Whoever her father is someone powerful. And I don't trust her, said Naruto. You don't? Well, not fully. I believe that she will watch our back. I believe that she will help us out on missions, however. She's spying on us as well. For what reason? Sasuke said. Well, considering that most of them is thinking that you will eventually turn to a flight risk with the strength that you're gaining, and that I will eventually snap and leave this village. They're worried. Yeah, I guess you're right. And with you coming to bunk with me, that doesn't ease their worry one bit, does it? Actually, it increased it, said Naruto. I guess you're right. What do you think of our sensei? I'll have to find out some more about him. I guess I'll pay Anko a visit. She is a good source of information. You come in, Naruto asks. Sasuke shrugged as they made their way off. The next morning at 7, Saya arrived on the field as she saw both boys were already there. They motioned for her to come over. Given his recent time, I believe that you won't be here for at least 2 more hours. That will give us time to familiarize each other with our strengths and weaknesses, so that we can be ready for whatever tests he has to throw at us. I don't see a problem with that, she said. I'll even go first. My main strength is with weaponry. Kunais and shuriken. I'm a whiz at using them, especially in long range. I also can switch and adapt into close range taijutsu and kinjutsu with my blade, she said. While I don't have a lot of chakra, I have great control over my main element, which is wind. I presume you two already know what that is, correct? Yes, said Naruto and Sasuke. Good, she said. I can infuse wind chakra through my blade. The metal is chakra conductive. My main weakness is stamina. I can go for a while, but I can't go for too long. And I also know a few genjutsu, she said. Alright then, Saya, said Naruto. You will be our main backup support. Me and Sasuke are all-around fighters, both in close and long combat. However, if your accuracy as you showed us yesterday is as good as you let on, well then, we can definitely use that. But I'm not sure what kind of test he has planned in his mind for us yet. So I guess we'll just have to wait for that point. However, we can make up a plan in the fly. Time skip. Kakashi arrived on the scene as he saw the 3 of them. They were talking amongst themselves. Alright, he said as he clapped his hand together, getting their attention as they got to their feet. I saw that you all made on time. And you're 2 hours late, said Naruto. Oh, sorry. A black cat got in my path, and I had to take a long way around. The real long way, he said. That was all that Naruto said, as the others did not say anything. Dull crowd, said Kakashi. Well then, I see you all want to know why you're here now. As he pulled out 2 bells. Your main objective today is to get these 2 bells from me. He pulled out a small clock, as he placed on a stump. If the time runs out before you get a bell, you'll be sent back to the academy. As Saya tilted her head, Sensei, pardon my intrusion, but they're just 2 bells. Where's the other one, she asks. Oh, you notice. Well, the thing is, one of you will go back to the academy. It doesn't matter what you do. So you have to work that amongst yourself. So it doesn't matter what we do, one of us will go back anyway, said Sasuke. Exactly, said Kakashi, as he gave him an eye smile. Smart, said Naruto. Well, yes, said Kakashi, the test is smart. However, I presume that is not what you're talking about. No, said Naruto. When do we begin? Don't you want to know anymore, Kakashi asks. but neither of them said anything. Alright then, he said. You three will have to come at me with the intent to kill. Otherwise, you won't get a bell. With the intent to kill. Are you certain? Said Naruto. As Kakashi nodded. Well, you better get a move on. Time is ticking. You can begin now. As he said that, all three of them vanished. He smiled to himself as he pulled out his small orange book. These three are indeed something, aren't they? He thought to himself. They're already working as a unit, as he felt. All three of them gather. Oh, that's good. Now to see if they can keep that teamwork up. As he waited by the tree. As he felt them moving. They were literally giving themselves away. He could feel their chakra. From what the Hokage told him, they should be able to suppress their chakra by now. Or maybe the Hokage was influencing their ego. Or was this a trap? As he heard the shuriken sailing through the air, he paid it no mind as he simply ducked down and picked up a pebble. The shuriken slammed into the tree. He then walked away as another one slammed into the tree, pretending like he didn't even notice, still holding his lovely book in his hand as he leaned his back against that tree. It was then that he saw Naruto and Sasuke step in the clearing. Both boys looked at one another. You ready? Naruto asked. Sasuke's Sharingan flared to life. I was born ready, he said. As the both of them moved, seeing this, Kakashi prepared himself. Naruto seemed to be a lot faster as he moved in first. Kakashi was about to fight with one hand and use his book. However, that wouldn't work as Naruto came in. His speed was surprisingly impressive. Much so for Kakashi to put away his book as he clashed with Naruto, hand against hand. However, Kakashi was not prepared for the strength. No, that was surprising. He was far stronger than he thought. So much so that his foot started to slide back. However, Naruto poofed a sword in his hand as he threw it up. As Kakashi noticed a seal on his wrist, Sasuke used Naruto's shoulder as springing board as he jumped and caught the blade as he brought it down. Kakashi used a kunai as he blocked said weapon, only for Naruto threw a punch forward, but Kakashi twists as he grabbed Sasuke's arm. But Sasuke reacted almost instantaneously, as once again he used Naruto's shoulder to flip over and reached out to grab Kakashi by the shoulder, and Naruto came in from below. Kakashi was forced to jump and twist himself through the center, rotating past the two of them as he landed on his feet. The moment he did so though, he had to turn as an insane heat started to resonate from behind him. A massive fireball that almost swallowed him whole. However, he substituted himself at the last moments. As he reappeared behind the two, Sasuke was still in the motion after releasing that fireball. It was then that Kakashi noticed the sword was no longer in his hand. Kakashi looked up as he saw the sword coming towards his face. That is when he noticed Naruto below, preparing hand signs. Poof! Kakashi was shocked as the sword suddenly poof, smoke all over his face. It was then that he heard the sound. He had to move one way or another. So he twisted his body from the shurikens that embedded, almost slicing right in his jugular, as he noticed from the trees. The girl. The Naruto above, he reached and grabbed Naruto's arm. However, the one down below extended his hand forward. It felt like a gut punch. The wind that embarked from his palm slammed into Kakashi hard as it hit him right in the tree. Kakashi was surprised that he actually managed to land a hit on him that easily. However, then something startling happened. The two shurikens from before that was thrown poof, revealing two copies of Naruto who wrapped wires around him as he tossed into Sasuke, who flashed through hand sign. Fire style, fire stream! The fire rushed down the wire. Kakashi was tied up. The entire tree went ablaze. A distance in the forest, Kakashi reappeared after substituting himself. These kids were really something. As he glanced up towards his headband, maybe he had to... He watches the kunai embedded in the tree cutting a wire. Wait, a wire? He turned as a hail of kunais rushed towards him and a hail of shurikens. It was at the last moment he noticed one of them had an explosive tag, and the entire thing exploded, forcing him to leap out of the forest. The end of his clothing was burned. It was singed. Now he saw why the Hokage told him not to underestimate them, and he didn't believe that this was all that they could do. He watched as shade covered where he stood. That was when he noticed it was like an army had thrown it. Hundreds of kunais coming down towards him. The girl couldn't be the only one that were throwing these. It was impossible. But before they could hit him though, or he could deflect them, they all poof at the same moment, turning into copies of Naruto. Kakashi's eyes went wild when they all brought their hands out. Wind style. Wind palm, they said. They did not go through hand signs. Kakashi flashed to his own. Earth style, he said. As he did not trust going back in the forest after that attack. Armadillo cover, he said. As the earth came around him in a tight ball. However, the wind attacks were brutal as they decimate the land. When the smoke and dust cleared, all the clones poofed away as the earth ball cracked open. As Naruto stood there, however, there was nothing inside. Two hands reached from the ground and grabbed Naruto's legs and yanked him down. His head was the only thing left above, as Kakashi jumped out. A clever move, he said, but it still wasn't enough. As Naruto merely smirked. That's the main reason why we never told you much about ourselves. There had to be a lot of mystery. So when I do this, you will be surprised. Naruto's hands erupted from the ground, shocking Kakashi how he was able to tear himself out like that. He gripped Kakashi's ankles. Kakashi cried out when electricity ran through his veins. However, BAM! A fist smashed in his face as he was thrown back, showing that it was none other than Sasuke. It was then that he was sailing. He saw a hurl of kunais coming down. Kakashi pulled a kunai out of his pouch as he twisted and blocked all of them, but two of them slashed him across the cheek, one of them clinging across his headband. As Kakashi dropped in a heap, he quickly got back to his feet. Cuts and bruises over his body. His body still spasming a bit. He was shocked that he got electrocuted. That wasn't something that he expected at all. He underestimated the Hokage words. Yes, these two kids were proving to be more challenging than he thought, but the Hokage told him that this was a special team, and he will have to test them first to give him first impression of what he thought before he told him what he knew about them. But still, he knew of Itachi after all. He was on the same team as him. He was his captain. But that was not what was confusing him at the moment. His brother was showing great progress, but Naruto, how was he able to tear himself out of the ground like that, and how did he electrocute him like that? Granted, the volts were not as high to kill him, but still. And not to mention, he got punched and he got scratched up. And that girl, she kept on throwing kunais and shurikens at the last moment to catch him off guard. As he wiped the blood away from his cheek, was he really gonna have to? He watches the three of them emerge from the forest. As the two that were there poofed away. They were clones? Was he fighting clones this entire time? He severely underestimated them, and now he was paying for that. It seems that they were no normal Genins, and he shouldn't have treated them as such. I guess we won. Kakashi reached down. Shit. The bells were gone. You should really pay attention to your surroundings, Sensei, said Saya with a smile. As Kakashi simply chuckled a bit to himself. I guess you're right, he said to her. I should. However, we have a conundrum, he said. Which one of you have the bells? As Naruto raised the bells. As you can see, there's just two of them. What are you going to do? Threw them towards his teammates, cutting Kakashi off, as each of them caught one. Your instruction was that we have to get the belts. You never said that we had to keep them. I got them, and I gave them to my teammates, so they also pass. Same like your cryptic words about you suggest us not eating breakfast, because we might throw up. That is why we didn't follow them, because it was stupid. And so it will be stupid if you take only 2 of us. After all, a genuine team consists of 3 people. So you might as well give us a go-ahead that we're going to be Team 7 already. And let's not waste more time. Kakashi stood there, as he saw an image behind the 3. Behind Saya was Rain. Behind Naruto was himself when he was younger. And behind Sasuke was Obito. The 3 of them looking at him, giving him a go-ahead that this team will be the one to surpass his expectations. They were smart, decisive, and not to mention they were all incredibly talented. As he brought her eye smile straight up to his mask. Alright, I guess you figure my little test out. So then from today on, I welcome you all to Team... Naruto turned his head, barely listening to the last part of that statement. As Kakashi was talking, Naruto saw something flew. There it was again. Something or someone was watching him. And it always got away before he saw it. As Kakashi congratulated them for passing, he also brought them to the memorial stone and told them that whoever abandoned their teammate is worse than trash. Something to stick with them as they go through their journey. Later that day, "You were right, father," said Saya. The Uchiha, while impressive, Naruto Uzumaki is different. So far I've witnessed him do ninjutsu without witnessing a hand sign. And his mind is rather sharp. Sharper than the Uchihas. I would say that his knowledge is probably up there with the Naruto's. You're right, I can see him being a huge asset to this village in the future. I will keep my further inspection on him and relay all that I find, father. However, it is a matter of getting him to trust me, but not only him. The Uchiha ward is a huge say in what he does as well. They're like brothers. So I will have to get the both of them to trust me if they're gonna let me in on anything. Which I will eventually do. Because I will not fail you, father, she said, as she looked up. As a hand patted on the shoulder, I know you won't. Danzo Shamira smiled to himself. His daughter indeed made a good addition to Team 7. Rather well. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want anything smart to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.